Hello, welcome back to a TCaP deep dive. Today we're doing Richard Burnham. This guy has been requested by a viewer of mine. I'll pull up the name right now, but I realized that his segment is very short, and that I also found a phone call conversation that's not too long. So I decided to, you know what, we'll just make one full video of Richard Burnham. We did a deep dive, commentary on his segment as well, and we'll call it a day. The guy I recommended, this Richard Burnham guy, is Nikolai Peterson, Peterson, I assume. So yeah, thank you for recommending this. We'll do one of these deep dives. These have actually become very popular on my channel. The last one I did on Lauren Armstrong was received pretty well. I understand it's Lauren Armstrong, so it makes sense. But still, I'm glad that people liked it, and we're doing a bit of a different format. So yeah, let's get into watching the commentary part first, right? We're watching the segment first, and then we'll go a bit deeper onto what this guy kind of did, okay?
Potential predator pulls up. Watch as he confidently approaches the house for his date with a girl who told him she was 14. Without even bothering to knock, 42-year-old Richard Burnham enters the house.
Holy shit, he just opened up the door. Holy crap, that is something. That is something.
Hey! We hired 18-year-old Casey to play the part of the young teen.
Wow.
She's 5'2" and weighs 95 pounds.
95? Oh my god, I'd be able to pick up fucking Casey so easily, man.
Please have a seat.
Casey is posing as the 14-year-old virgin he met over the internet. He was really talking to a decoy from Perverted Justice. While online, he pretends to be two different people to try and lure the PJ decoy into having sex with him. He starts off as Yukon Blue and White, a 21-year-old college...
Yeah, to better explain a bit of what Chris is saying, right? I'm sure they'll go into a little bit more of detail, but if they don't, I just want to put this out there. He basically acted as two people. Richard kind of catfished basically the decoy on having her, right? Of course, it's basically two people just lying about who they are. It was supposed to be a college boy, right? A 20-something-year-old guy that was talking first to the decoy. Then it turns out he couldn't come over to have sex with her, right? So he instead sent over his friend that is 40-something years old, which coincidentally is Richard Burnham. So in the scheme of it is basically he lured in the minor by having a second person basically refer to him, the decoy. The decoy messages the 20-year-old, then she later talks to the 40-year-old, and then they, of course, meet up to, of course, do that.
College student named Rick. He chats about having sex with her, then introduces a friend. Steve takes pics.
I have an older friend who wants a virgin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, bad.
How old is he?
35.
Yukon Blue and White continues to promote his older friend.
He's not 35. Richard is not 35. Don't get me wrong.
Steve.
Yeah, I'm really sick. But Steve is a great guy. I hope you like getting laid. He'll do an awesome job taking your virginity. He's really excited about it.
Now playing...
Yeah, see? Basically... he just basically got an assist from this other guy, this 20-year-old supposedly. It's just a deeper scheme. It doesn't matter.
The part of the older friend, he uses the screen name Steve Takes Pics.
I hear you want to lose your virginity.
What all did Rick say?
He said you were a virgin, and seemed like you wanted to lose it.
Jesus Christ.
The decoy agrees, and Steve Takes Pics goes on to use graphic and disgusting language to describe how he plans to take her virginity. Now, the man with two online identities has driven 3 hours, away from Connecticut to meet Jane, the 14-year-old.
So, do you want some brownies?
Jane?
No? He just passed right by the seat, kept going, so I just said, see you later, and got out of there real fast. Okay.
Casey knows she's surrounded by security people, and she's been instructed to...
Oh, I would have done the exact same thing. Don't get me wrong. Holy shit, this guy was starting to get real close, so she pieced the fuck out. I would have done the same thing.
Slip away if she ever feels uncomfortable.
How you doing? Hi. Good. What's your seat right on this floor? What you got in your back pocket there?
My phone.
No, the other back pocket. May I see it? What is that?
It's, KY.
Lubricating gel.
Yep.
What?
It's lubricant, which is very fucking sus, of course. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what he was gonna do with that.
What are you going to use that for?
was intending on being with her.
And how old?
Jesus Christ.
14.
Steve Takes
Oh
Pics says he's a freelance photographer, but in his former career,
So he's
he was
unemployed.
a
So he's unemployed. Like, come on, let's not lie to ourselves, guys. Come on. When you're a fucking Instagram model and you're not fucking popular as hell, you're just unemployed. You know, let's be honest.
firefighter for 22 years. Did you
That
have
was
a rank
something.
when you were a firefighter? What?
Captain.
A captain. He also reveals that he is divorced and the father of 2 young children.
Oh my god.
Why'd you do it then?
Lonely. And
Come
I've
on,
got
man.
no money.
So because you're short on cash, you decided to have a date with a 14-year-old girl.
Come on, it should never make sense.
Have you done this before?
No, this is the thing.
Really? Because you seem pretty skilled at it. Remember, this man telling the sad story about being lonely and broke is the same man who came up with an elaborate scheme apparently trying to entice a young girl into having sex with him.
That is
started.
true. That is true. I mean, we've never seen something like that, I believe, where Predator basically plays 2 roles to just basically end up, you know, getting with the decoy. You know, was it a good ploy? I am not sure. I'd say it's not too bad, but it's not good either. I don't think, you know, you'd be able to do something like that nowadays, especially when people are a lot smarter on the internet.
This as Yukon Blue and White,
Yep.
posing as a 21-year-old college student.
Holy shit.
Why would you do that?
I prefer younger women in the college to out of college age range, and I like talking to them.
So now you change identities online, right?
Yes.
What
And
the
then you
fuck?
pick up the conversation.
Come on, man. These people that are old as hell that want young people, you know, you're in college and you want someone like that. Come on, man. There are weirdos that exist, right? And would definitely be down to date someone older, which I don't understand. You know, you're basically wasting your entire like 20s with a fucking old ass grandpa taking care of him. Like, what the fuck? Come on, man. You're just being taken advantage of. Come on.
I hear you want to lose your virginity. You really 35? I'm 37. Which is not true because you're actually 42.
Right.
Jesus, man.
So there are layers
of lies.
of lies here.
Yeah.
All intended, it would appear, to set up a sexual liaison with a 14-year-old girl. Right?
Yes.
This goes on for some 20 days, by the way.
20 days.
That's called grooming.
Yep.
What do you think?
You know, this Richard Burnham guy, I've actually never heard of this guy. I've seen him before, right? Because some of these segments, right, they show other predators and stuff. I've seen him before. I do know of the scheme he did, but I've never seen the segment itself. We'll get into a lot more of what he, you know, what else he also fucking brought to the table, quote unquote. Because we'll also be looking at the phone calls with the decoy. And we'll also check the TCaP Wiki, see if there's anything filed on him, right? Maybe we'll find his RSO listing. And yeah, we'll
What would have happened
we'll do that in a second.
had there been a 14-year-old girl here home alone?
I think it's pretty evident.
Pretty evident.
At least he's honest, but still
Rick,
a fucking creep.
I need to tell you that I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. And we're doing a story on adults who try to meet young teens online for sex.
Yeah. I don't want cameras.
You can leave right now.
Fucking idiot.
Well, I'm going to be in trouble once I go.
That's not
I
up
don't want cameras. I don't fucking care if you do, don't. You know, come on.
to me. You should take your jelly.
KY jelly.
While Steve Takes Pics has been inside, the police have moved into position alongside the house, waiting for him to walk
Saw
out
it
and
snake.
arrest him.
Please get on the ground! Get on the ground! Do not resist. Get on the ground. Stay flat on
Hey,
the
calm
ground.
down. You're gonna break his
He's
back.
taken away in an unmarked police car and later transported to jail. He and all the other men who show up at our undercover house will be charged with solicitation of a minor.
Want to meet up, baby?
So have you ever been
Yeah, that'll be it for this segment, right? This is a little meme that that this channel put on. But yeah, we'll see what's up next. Okay, we'll first look at his TCaP Wiki. So yeah, now we're here on the TCaP Predator Wiki. Now it seems that Richard's signature line is "No, I'm all set," which I don't know the context of it. Apparently, it says here right here that it's Richard before going for the rape, which okay, it's a weird thing to say, but whatever. So yeah, the aliases he had, right? Richard Burnham is Yukon Blue and White. Steve Takes Pics, And Rick's takes pics, 2006. So his occupation was rapist fireman, which, come on, that's just a joke for, well, maybe he did. We'll get to that in a minute. Of course, he's divorced. You know, he was born January 12, 1965. He's pretty old. I don't think he's alive now. I'm going to be honest. Maybe he's dead, right? That is very fucking old. Of course, his gender is male. He's 5'9". He weighs 240 pounds. He has eye color brown. Hair color is black. And now for the biography of Richard. It's Burnham, a former fire department captain, chatted up a girl he believed to be 14 and a virgin under 2 different screen names, Yukon Blue and White and Steve Takes Pics. The former was posed as a 21-year-old college student named Rick, and the latter was a 37-year-old photographer named Steve, which was, of course, Burnham. He used the Rick persona to try to shepherd her towards sex with Steve in what would be perceived as a threesome. But Rick will later drop out, saying, "Yeah, I'm really sick, but Steve is a great guy. I hope you like getting laid. He'll do an awesome job taking your virginity. He's really excited about it." He then would take over as Steve and express his desire to take her virginity, blank in her mouth and blank inside her. When the decoy expressed a worry about getting pregnant, the concerned Steve replied, "If I get you preg, I get you preg," which is very fucking heinous. But let's just proceed. He would also call the decoy, expressing his desire while watching porn and masturbating, getting off on her voice saying, "That's hot." When Richard showed up at the trap house, which you shouldn't be saying trap house, but whatever, he wasted no time before he started lurching towards the decoy, looking to take her right then and there. Chris Hansen intervenes and Richard's privates shrivel up inside his body. When asked what he has in his pocket, he produces a large tube of KY jelly. Of course, KY jelly was a lubricant, of course. Richard is arrogantly honest about his intentions with the girl, making an excuse that because he is broke and lonely is why he went through many deceptions to have unprotected sex with the 14-year-old girl. Hansen sends him packing with this KY jelly because he would probably need it where he was going. Burnham is arrested outside and is charged with attempted endangerment of a child. He got 6 months in jail and a sex offender designation. What? So he got 6 months of jail and sex offender registration, I assume. So yeah, now that we've looked at a bit of his basically biography, there isn't much else after this. There's a lot of what do you call it? Perverted Justice pages. But yeah, for now we'll look at the phone call. We'll look at the phone call. It's to see what he actually said, right? And just from reading his biography, it seems like there was an explicit moment in here. If there is a bit too much, I'll have to cut it out. But you're free to look it up yourself. Richard Burnham's phone conversation by Candid Fellow.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
What you doing?
Nothing really. What are you doing?
Not much. Hold on one quick second, okay? Be right back.
Okay.
What the fuck? Okay. And yeah, in the screen right now in the YouTube video, right, it's just a bunch of pictures of what Burnham looks now. I assume these are RSO pictures, right? Mugshotphotos.com apparently. But yeah.
Okay, back.
Okay.
How are you?
Good. What's up?
Not much. You?
Nothing really.
Oh my god, what a shit conversation.
So you took a bunch of pictures today, right?
Yep.
Very cute.
Did you have
Yep.
fun?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Did you have a good day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you miss me?
Yeah. I was waiting
Yeah.
for you like all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a little southern accent to you, don't you?
Yeah.
Christ.
I didn't realize that. That's odd.
Oh my god.
Why?
It's sweet. It sounds cool.
Oh, I thought you didn't like it.
No, I do. I didn't
A southern accent You're right. How do you feel about that? Do you think it's cute? Of course, Richard believes so, but it depends. There's some that are too fucking hard, like strong, but a little bit wouldn't be too bad. But at the same time, it doesn't matter what you sound like, you know.
I realize you have one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Where were you living before? How did you get the accent?
North Carolina.
That's right. That's where your mom is now, right?
Uh-huh.
How long were you there?
I think I was like until I was 12, like a long time.
Yeah.
And then,
So
know,
why did your dad come to New Jersey?
Oh,
Yeah, that's right. This was in the New Jersey sting. I still need to get familiar with which house is what, you know. But you know, yeah,
I got
nice.
transferred for a job.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, for a job, she said. By the way.
I've only been here like a year or something, so I still kind of sound like where I was from, you know. I don't sound like a Jersey girl.
That's
Yeah.
funny, that's
No,
funny.
you don't sound like a Jersey girl. That's hot.
Oh my god. That's hot.
So you think you'll like me?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Do
Yeah.
Yeah.
you like me?
Yeah, I do.
And you know for a fact that Richard was very, very fucking like, you know, happy, of course, in these moments. I mean, for the first time in his life, right, he's actually gone through with this fantasy of basically meeting someone young. You know, he says college through out of college, which, you know, that's where most adults land, you know. It's like you're either in college or you're not, which makes no fucking sense. But I can get what he's saying, right? You know, when you first get into college, right, 18 or whatever, and then 20-something. You know, this is the first time he's actually gone through with this little fantasy of you know, being intimate with someone younger than him, right? A lot younger than him. Richard, of course, was 42 when he was caught.
Dad all asleep?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
he was, but I don't know right now.
Yeah.
I should probably
right.
go soon in case he wakes up.
Well, stay on the phone for a while.
I just don't want to get like in trouble.
I know. Well, we can talk for a few.
Yeah.
Yeah? You ready to lose your virginity to me?
Oh my fucking god, man. I can't believe this shit. I don't understand how people gain the confidence to talk like this, especially voice to voice. You know, I've never tried to sweet talk or you know, butter up a girl before. Yeah, to the extent of like, you know, like this. And I don't know how the fuck you could land something like that, you know? It's like he goes from asking, "Oh, where are you from? You know, where's your parents from? How are you doing?" Right? "Oh, I'm doing good." To, you know, "Are you ready to lose your virginity?" You know, it's weird. It is a weird ass jump, and of course Richard is a fucking pervert.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. How bad you want it?
Jesus.
Yeah. How bad you want to do it?
I guess pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
You sure you want to do it with me?
Yeah, why not?
You sound like the TCaP narrator guy for a second. I'm just saying.
Just making sure.
Oh, okay. Do you still want to?
Yeah.
Of course he wants to. He's a fucking predator. We'll see if I can find where Richard's at now. The TCaP Wiki doesn't say it. Maybe he's alive, maybe he's dead. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I do. You can give me a BJ.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, if you want one.
I'd love one.
Oh my god.
I'd like to see you do it. You want me to eat you out?
Oh my.
Would you really?
Yes.
I can't believe this is the first time, like seriously, that I've heard a phone call. You know, that I slightly looked at Lauren Armstrong's phone call, but that phone call was long, you know, so I didn't look at all of it. This one is 5 minutes and 34 seconds, so I'm listening to all of it, and I can't believe the shit that they're saying. You know, it is baffling for me to hear.
Yeah, then.
You want it bad?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not afraid, huh?
Not really.
That's cool.
Jesus.
I guess like a little bit nervous, but not like freaked out or anything.
Yeah. So you want me inside you?
Oh my God.
That's how it's done, isn't it?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, that's how it's done. You okay with me coming in you?
You don't get like pregnant or something.
Well, I mean, it's always a possibility, but you shouldn't.
What? What do you fucking mean? The talk of the whole impregnating thing, I fucking hate it every time though. That kink, because that is what it is very heinous. You know, I've seen it multiple times throughout YouTube. Right there are YouTube predator catchers as well. That is a kink, and I do not understand that shit. Like, come on, how can you go that far? You know, to think of that of a child. You know, it's something, man.
Told you that before. You might.
You might. Come on, man.
But I shouldn't though, right?
You shouldn't. I mean, probably 85 or 90% chance you won't.
What a fucking liar, dude.
How bad do you want me to come in you?
Jesus.
Oh crap, I think you woke up. I'm gonna meet you back online, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus Christ. Okay, that's the end of that. Thank God. Holy shit, that was something. That was real fucking bad. That was horrible. So yeah, it seems to me like I have found his Florida Department of Law Enforcement sexual offender flyer. Okay. Of course, you know, all the descriptions that Richard is given, right, were on To Catch a Predator Wiki, but I searched this one up myself. So, of course, he's designated as a sexual offender. Of course, his name is Richard Burnham. Status is supervised by the Florida Department of Corrections. His Department of Corrections number is D34192. So it's D34192. Of course, race is white. He was born January 12, 1965, right? We know this. He's a man, male. Hair brown, eyes brown. He's 5'9", and he weighs 205 pounds now. Okay, I assume this one's recent. As you can see, there's a picture of him here. He looks like he hasn't aged well. This picture is from December 13, 2018. Of course, Richard S. Burnham. Of course, there's no scars, marks, or tattoos, right? There's none reported. Aliases is Richard Burnham, Richard Stephen Burnham, or Rick Burnham. It seems like his middle name is Stefan. It has to be Stefan. It says right here, Richard Burnham is registered as a sexual offender. Positive identification cannot be established unless a fingerprint comparison is made. And they allow you to track this guy down, right? Because their addresses are usually put on here. They, of course, do give his address here. I'm not going to show it, right? I don't want any problems from that. But, yeah, anyway. Of course, the crime information, right? His adjudication date is June 25th, 2008. Of course, it has to be somewhere near when the To Catch a Predator series aired or was recorded, of course. His crime description is sex offense, dash other states, attempted endangering the welfare of a child. Of course, the court case number is not available. You know, I don't believe this court case was publicated. Jurisdiction and state, of course, is Ocean, New Jersey. And of course, he was found guilty and he was convicted of it. And then they also give the victim information here, right? It's very simple, but it is just that gender is female and that it, of course, was a minor. Lastly, we'll go to the Perverted Justice website to kind of get a bit of a insight on what this guy was kind of saying. It says here, you know, in the little chat log summary. So Steve takes pics on March 11, 2007, which I assume I was wrong on the conviction dates, right, with To Catch a Predator. He starts off the conversation here in this little summary saying, "So what else you want to know?" Then the girl replies, "You don't have pics any place," which I assume was MySpace. Steve replies with, "I have pics, I just don't have a MySpace." 14-year-old girl says, "Oh, you look friendly though." Steve replies saying, "I am." The girl replies saying, "Not scary." Steve replies, "That's good." The 14-year-old girl says, "Yeah, lol." Steve then replies lastly in his summary saying, "Do I look like the guy you want to lose your virginity to?" Then they have a little bit of a summary of what Richard was kind of planning and kind of what happened to him, right? And was shown in the To Catch a Predator series. It reads here, Richard Burnham spent his entire chat trying to convince what he thought was a 14-year-old female to have sex with him. Or his friend, who was also him. Back and forth, complimenting himself across his two different personalities, Burnham had one goal in mind, to sexually assault a young girl. Burnham arrived at our Ocean County, New Jersey sting and was confronted by Dateline NBC host Chris Hansen. At that point, we're pretty sure he wished his imaginary friend were there. Burnham was arrested and sentenced to 180 days in jail along with a probation and a registration as a sex offender. If he commits another crime, he will face a further 3 to 5 years in jail due to this crime. Now, there are contributor notes from the Decoy's real person behind the screen that says here, this is definitely one of the oddest chats I have experienced while working as a volunteer decoy. It also one that parents need to read as a warning of the lengths that predators will go to in their attempt to deceive a child and gain their trust. Richard Steve Burnham first contacted my 14-year-old persona in the MySpace New Jersey chat room, where he was using a MySpace profile portraying himself as a 21-year-old male named Rick, complete with pictures that made him appear to be an attractive young man. After messaging my persona in the chat room and via MySpace private messaging, he then made contact on AIM, an AOL Instant Messenger, right? AIM, AOL Instant Messenger. Rick made his sexual intentions known very quickly. He told my persona that Steve was a 35-year-old and then 37 and really wanted to have sex with a virgin. He worked hard to depict his friend as a nice, trustworthy guy. Steve then contacted my persona on AIM. Richard Burnham, a 42-year-old, was actually chatting to my persona using both the Rick and Steve personas in a calculated attempt to manipulate who he believed was a 14-year-old child into meeting him for sex. I was very aware very quickly that this was the same man chatting to my persona under both of these personas, but a real child would have been tricked easily. I watched with interest, dismay, and admittedly a bit of amusement as he tried to delude and manipulate who he thought was a child using this calculated deception. The planning that went into this is frightening because a real child could easily fall for it. A good-looking young man hits up a child, gains trust as a cool young guy, then he introduces her to his older friend, using the trust he has already gained to trick the child into trusting the older man, who she might have rejected if he had contacted her directly. Then he uses his multiple personas to gauge his progress by using the younger man as a confidant regarding her feelings about the older man. He adjusts what the older man says on the basis of her reactions confided in the younger man. For 3 weeks, this attempt at manipulation continued, while Steve graphically detailed his intentions and educated my persona regarding sex and what he would expect from her. In parentheses, usually I bold the graphic parts of the chat for emphasis, but this chat has so much of that, most of the chat would have been bolded. He linked my 14-year-old persona to porn videos as part of this education. He also tried to convince her to get another virgin friend of hers to come over and join them. Conveniently, Rick said he was sick, so he would not be able to accompany Steve to visit my persona, but he reassured her, a Yukon Blue White, saying, Yeah, I'm really sick, but Steve is a great guy. I hope you like getting laid. He'll do an awesome job taking your virginity. He's really excited about it. And so, Richard Burnham proceeds to drive 3 hours from Connecticut to New Jersey to meet who he thought was a 14-year-old girl. Burnham arrived in New Jersey during a sting that was covered by Dateline and was interviewed by Chris Hansen. He was then arrested by the Ocean County Police, pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child, and was sentenced to 180 days in a New Jersey jail, lifetime probation, and sex offender registration. While on parole, he could face 3 to 5 years in prison if he commits a new crime or fails to register as a sex offender. Richard Burnham had worked as a fire captain with Ainfield's Hazardville's fire department and also a freelance photographer of sporting events, both careers which would have put him in contact with young people. So that's good. It turns out that he did get a full-time life registration as a sex offender, right? I was a bit worried about that, even though we had just seen his sex offender registry page from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. But yeah, that'll be kind of it for Richard Burnham. This was a very interesting read. I'm hopeful that you guys enjoy me reading. I understand that my voice could be a bit, long to hear, I don't believe I have the best or soothing voice for reading. But, I try my best. I try to make these entertaining for you guys, give you a bit of insight of who this guy is, where he's at, kind of, and what happened to him, right? And hopefully you enjoy this. Tell me in the comments if you did like it, right? I'd like to know. I don't want to be making these if no one cares to watch them, right? It just takes up another spot for a video that someone else would have just liked, something else, like another commentary, right? But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll catch you a different time, hopefully with another deep dive in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching and enjoy yourself. Have a good day.